Kololo is a hill in Kampala, the largest city and capital of Uganda. The name also applies to the upscale residential and commercial neighbourhood that sits on that hill. Kololo is close to the center of Kampala, bordered by Naguru to the east, Bukuru to the north, Mulago to the northwest, Makerere to the west, Nakasero to the southwest, and Chibuli to the south. It's in Kampala Central Division. The hill rises to a maximum height of 4,302 feet above the sea level. Kololo gets its name from the 19th century actually chef Awichi from northern Uganda. He, alongside the cavalry of Bunyoro, resisted British rule. Awichi was arrested and brought to Kampala and incarcerated on top of the Kololo hill. He is alleged to have cried out in Luo, "Ana ate kanye Kololo," which means "I'm here alone." He was lamenting over the fact that he had been left alone in the wilderness, miles away from his home. His captures and the Baganda started calling the location and the hill Kololo, resulting in its name today. Since the 1950s, before Uganda's independence, Kololo has been an upscale residential area because of its central location in the city and to the views from the hill. This hill is a popular location for diplomatic missions to Uganda, housing more than a dozen embassies and ambassadors' residences. During the 2000s, hotels, banks, hospitals, and other corporate entities began to infiltrate the hill, mainly to serve the elite who reside there. Away from the noise and traffic congestions in the central business district located on the neighboring hill called Nakasero. At the summit of the hill, there are television and telecommunication masts. Other key features of Kololo Hill are: there is the Kololo Airstrip, popularly used to hold national celebrations and festivals, and also a handling site for small jets. Kololo Airstrip in Kampala is not only a rich source of historical events in Uganda, but it's also been the source of many horror stories as well as some paranormal activities. I'll be giving an overview of the history and the events that have taken place at Kololo Airstrip, as well as delve into some of the mysteries and horror stories that surround it. Come on now, let's explore the horror story of Kololo Airstrip in Uganda, Kampala. Not far from Kampala, near the Kololo Airstrip, lies a small village. This village is mostly inhabited by the farmers who thrive on the rich soils from the neighboring hills. For many years, the village has lived in a peaceful harmony, but that's all about to change. It all began on a stormy night when a busload of tourists on their way to Kampala stopped off to take shelter at the village. When the tourists left in the morning, no one could have guessed the horror that they had left behind. Next morning, the villagers awoke to find the village in a state of chaos. The bodies of children, some still in their beds, had been dragged from the village by some unseen force. Strange symbols had been stretched into the walls, and a quiet dread hung over the village. The villagers were convinced that something supernatural was behind the horrific act of violence. Some said that a deity of some kind had walked through the village, leaving death and destruction in its wake. Others feared that a demon had come to bring horror and terror to the village. Whatever the cause, the people of Kololo Airstrip were convinced of the supernatural terror that had come to their village. They prayed and feared, hoping that one night the horror would soon pass. But they had yet to find peace, and the village remains in a silent state of dread. Kololo Airstrip is one of the oldest and the most important airfields in Kampala, Uganda. It was built in 1911 and is located in the Kololo suburb of Kampala. The airstrip is located high on a hill and is used mainly for commercial and private aviation. This airstrip has a long history. During the World War I, it served as a staging ground for British forces. It was also used as a landing strip during the World War II, when the British used it as a staging point for their military efforts in East Africa. In the 1950s, the airstrip became a major hub for international and domestic air travel in Uganda. For a time, many international carriers including Pan Am and Air France used the airstrip to flights in and out of the country. In more recent years, the airstrip has been utilized by the United Nations mission to Uganda, the Ugandan police force and various foreign embassies. It is also used by corporate and private travelers, particularly those who need to do business in the bustling downtown of Kampala. Today, the airstrip remains an important part of the city and is still used for international and domestic flights. It's also a popular destination for scenic flights from around Uganda and is a home to a small but active aviation community. This airport is one of the busiest airports in Uganda, and its activity is vital for the economy of the country. The airport is a hub for several airlines including Uganda Airlines, Jumbo Jet, Emirates, Ethiopian Airlines, Qatar Airways and Fly Dubai. The airport also serves as a hub for air cargo operations. It's also used for general aviation activities like sightseeing trips, VIP flights, corporate charter flights, medical evacuation flights, and freight operations. It also provides basic services such as airport security, baggage handling, catering, small car rental services, airport arrival and departure information, and general passengers facilities. It also has a fuel station for refueling and maintenance purposes. There are restaurants and bars that provide food and drinks for passengers. In addition, the airstrip also provides several services for aircraft maintenance and repairs. Most people noted that the convenience of being able to access the airstrip with ease from the city center, as well as good facilities and staff. They also praised the safety and security as well as the friendly atmosphere at the regional airport. Most visitors also commented on the fast check-in process, the availability of reliable ground transportation services, and the help of friendly staff. So let's check on the cost of living in Kololo. There is a 6-bedrooms Lakeview house on this hill. It goes for 12,000 US dollars. It has 4 bathrooms, living room, dining, kitchen, 2 garages, ample parking, mature and green garden. A 3-bedroom fully furnished apartment goes for 4,000 US dollars every month. The apartments come with ample parking lots and is very easily accessed. There are supermarkets, shopping malls, financial services.